This is episode number 79 of Tenn Listens, a special episode today. We are talking with Tom Oswald of Videscape.com, which is a new video service, and really looking forward to what Tom has to say. I've been playing with the service, and it's a pretty groovy thing. I want to start off by introducing Tom. He's over in UK there. What part of England are you in, Tom?
South, so Poole Way, Poole, Wimborne, Dorset, basically. About furthest south point of the UK that you can get.
Just about as far south as you can. Cool. And the weather's good and everything's all right over there today?
No, it's cold, miserable, and rainy, but then it's winter time over here, so we've got 9 months of joyous, horrible weather.
Cool. Well, I'll let you enjoy it. I've got 65 degrees and cloudy here. We had terrible storms uh, all through Tennessee last night. I know there's been some damage all through the Mid-South over here. So, hearts to those guys, and also over in Japan with the tsunamis and all the folks they lost over there. Hearts out to them. Before we get started, and when we built the event, we mentioned that Spotify and others are kind of under fire, and I wanted to kind of to bring up a couple of things. Spotify's been reaching out to musicians in private groups. They met in Nashville recently, and according to Billboard, the Nashville meeting apparently involved many raised voices and frustrating arguments between those who drank the Kool-Aid and those who did not. It says it's important to understand that when someone's watching their livelihood slipping away, telling that they just have to have faith in people whose own livelihood has more to do with venture capital and IPOs than selling music is not a good look. I got to say that it sounds rough on Spotify's end. We've got the industry suing Ford automobiles for putting recorders in some of their new cars. Uh, Absolutely ridiculous. We've argued this one since the 70s. Recording a track and keeping it for yourself, whether you do it in your car or at home, is back off, music industry. And just today released, YouTube has finally, after 7 years of content ID matching and paying out, they finally paid out $1 billion to their active users. And you can compare that to Spotify, who paid out $500 million this year to the artists and labels on Spotify. And we, these numbers that they pay us are ridiculous. Uh, I don't see how these models can possibly continue. With these things going on, when I saw what you were doing with Videscape, I said, I've got, Mark Shively, any music boss, introduced me. I knew right away I had to figure out what was up. So, Tom, thank you very much for coming and talking with us. We've got a huge list of topics here, and we've only got a short time, so let's get on with them. And I guess let's start from the beginning of this thing if we can, and maybe you could tell us a little bit about maybe what spurred the idea and maybe the who, what, where, when, why, and how of things, if you follow.
Well, I'm always looking for opportunities, and I was reading the digital music news, I think, one evening, and I saw the argument between, I saw that YouTube was basically creating YouTube Music here, and it created this huge rift with the indies. And it's about 40% of their users are from the indie music business, and I just thought if there's ever an opportunity to get into a market that's basically dominated by one industry giant, then now's the time to do it. When there is that massive discord between the independents and the majors.
Absolutely, a huge discord between. I mean, when they pay out 100 times as much, or even 1,000 times as much as they do for Warner, what they do for an independent, it, it really
Well,
ticks people off. I know they're looking for opportunities.
yeah, well, YouTube paid out $1 billion to the three majors to keep their catalogs on YouTube Music Key. Upfront payments, of course.
Right. Which it tells you something right there.
Yeah.
And I think the world is leaning more toward independent music than the major labels. I, I hope so. Anyways, I like the independent music. So just the opportunity to make a difference, and it's been a lot of work. What kind of effort? How long you been working? What kind of effort has this taken?
Well, I came across the news mid June. I put the team together by the end of June, and we had it launched by the 1st of August.
Wow, 2 months.
2 months, yeah. Well, less than that, 4 weeks.
That's amazing. It takes me that long to build a website sometimes. That's absolutely amazing. And I want to show the front page of the site here, and we all know that this can cause some consternation as far as uh, Hangouts are concerned. Um, in a moment here, I'll figure out which screen it is I need to share. Oh, look, it's going to work for us. Excellent. So you've got a good look here, nice and clean. And I noticed it really dawned on me yesterday. It's the color of blue that really I dig it a lot.
Yeah.
Seems to help a lot. It's much better than there's another video service that's got so much red on it that it looks angry to me, and I can't help but wonder about that. The news feed looks nice as it comes down. I love the way things are laid out. Perhaps I should be looking at things. I think my newsfeed is mostly me at the moment.
We're actually working on an algorithm that's going to come in at a later date that your newsfeed will basically be everyone. You'll see 100% of everything. So you can set up a band page there, for example, and you'll see everything they post. That's all coming in at a later date. Well, it's still there now, but to make it look nicer, it's coming in at a later date. But we're also working on an algorithm that will work out what videos you want to watch next, and so on and so on. So you can jump around the platform much easier.
So far, in my jumping around the platform, I've rather dug it. It's not been too difficult, but that does bring me to a couple of things that were in my questions list, and I guess we can skip over a couple of topics and bounce around. That's normal for me. Um, we're talking about possible features, things like I know I got over to Walter's page, and I wanted to see who was Walter following or who was following Walter, but I couldn't. Um, in one way, that's kind of neat. It's kind of secretive and kind of fun. In another way, I know there's a lot of people who want to be able to see those things, whether for a measure of social proof or an idea of folks that they should follow on a service. Have you got something like that coming on to show us those?
We do, but it's at a much later date. We've got some major features we need to get in first. Showing followers is a relatively easy thing to do, whereas bringing in the payment system, what we're doing at the moment, is a very complicated thing to do. We want to get the big chunks of software out of the way, and then we can concentrate on doing all the small, finicky parts of the site, basically.
Aha. I like that approach. I tend to, when I build something, I tend to stick some of the small things in the middle there just to show some. If I'm going to take 3 weeks to build something, well, if I can get this 30-minute project in there, at least it shows progress.
Yeah.
It's just the way I do some things. I love the way things have been coming along. Been following the Facebook group. And almost every day there's an update of good news, so that's cool stuff. And well, you mentioned that paying thing. Tell us a little bit about that. How you got it planned and what's coming down, or what can you share with us, that kind of thing. I know that our big YouTube creators are very interested, very, very interested in that.
Well, currently, basically, I assume. Actually, no, I won't assume that. The way YouTube works is that you only get paid for any advert clicks on your channel. So you can actually have 10 million views and not earn a penny quite easily. If you do have a click on your channel, then Google takes 55% of the revenue from that and then gives you 45%. But bearing in mind, they're also already taking their cut from the share because they own the advertising service behind it as well. So you end up with a relatively small amount. Now, statistically speaking, it works out at about 0.0640 cents per view if you have an average click rate across your channel. Again, if you have none, then it's going to be less. If you have a lot more, then it's going to be a lot more. But the average is about 0.064 cents. Our first month of paying, August, we paid out 0.13 cents, so almost 5 times what YouTube paid out per view. And we actually pay out per view. We're not reliant on advertising on an individual channel. We collect the entire advertising revenue from the platform and then split it out across every view. So every single person who has had a view over that time period gets paid for those views. It's no hit or miss. It's no, oh, did I get a click and advert, and so on and so on. And through September, we paid out 0.328 cents per view, which is almost 15 times what YouTube pays out. Now today I decided, because the real concept of the platform was basically we were going to take all of the advertising revenue, split it in half, and pay the content creators out of the advertising revenue. What we're now going to do is we're going to collect the revenue for the entire platform as a whole. So that includes all the e-commerce side, audio downloads, advertising, on-site advertising, so featured advertising, or if you're paying to promote your video, for example, plus the paid accounts. We're getting all of that revenue from those sources, and other sources will come online, which means that we should, in theory, be aiming to pay out in between 5 and 8 pence, or about 8 cents to 12 cents per view, when we hit critical mass, which is about 10 million views a month, which is less than 1% of YouTube's current user base.
Amazing. I'm just, y'all let that sink in for a minute. 5 to 8 pence,
Yeah.
8 cents a view.
Yep.
Let that sink in for a minute. That's unheard of.
Yes, we will become a major competitor to not only the other streaming sites online, but every single download site that's out there. Because why would you pay? I mean, you've got to pay 30, 40, 50 pounds to get your music put on iTunes. You sell a track for 79p. iTunes take 39%. The distributor takes another 10%, and there's ongoing fees. Whereas you put it up, and for every 10 streams you're going to get. No, in fact, it's not even 10 streams. 5 streams on Videscape will pay you what the equivalent of a download on iTunes will get you. And you don't have to pay to use it. You don't have to pay to put anything up there. You just put it up there and collect the music. Because we're going to allow MP3 uploads as well. So the whole platform will basically be videos, music, or MP3s, whatever they are, and podcasts. We've got about 100 podcasters who will be moving to the site. So if you think of the site as not YouTube or SoundCloud or Mixcloud, you think of it as it's YouTube, Mixcloud, SoundCloud, and Spotify all combined onto one platform, which has never been done before, to my knowledge.
No, not to my knowledge. I mean, a lot of people, figure a workaround, and sure, my podcast is on YouTube. I call it a vlogcast or whatever,
But they get paid nothing for it. You've got to convert it into a video before you can upload it, whereas ours, you'll be able to upload it straight away. And the beauty of the upload of the audio cast is those figures I just gave you were all based on video broadcasts. MP3s are 100, if not 1,000 times cheaper to stream than video is. So if we end up, and bearing in mind that, let's say, 1 in 10 people probably have a video to upload, 9 in 10 people who visit the site probably have MP3s or audio to upload, which means that the site will populate even quicker than it currently is. And for every 100 MP3s we stream would be the equivalent of 1 video. So that 5 to 8 cents per stream could easily become 20 or 30 cents per stream if the majority of streaming is done on audio. Because we're going to bring in some clever software as well, which basically means, because I know a lot of people go on YouTube, they'll playlist a load of videos, then they'll minimize the screen, but the thing is still using video bandwidth. We're going to bring in minimize the screen. It switches over to audio bandwidth only. So it saves us costs, which means that you get paid more.
Fantastic. I'm excited. I know JT's excited. I saw his face light up down there when we
I would actually like to stress. I would like to stress something here. I mean, the background of on myself, because I have a record label and a couple of radio stations. Videscape was not solely built for music. It's capable of coasting, and we welcome any videos on, excluding pornography or illegal content, but any video, so whether it's science, technology, comedy, entertainment, your cat falling down the stairs, it doesn't matter. It's not an exclusive music platform.
Not at all. That's one thing I've really enjoyed about it is finding the teachers putting up lessons and things, cartoon videos being made. I'm seeing a lot of good content, man. It's really cool, and without it being, and I'm a beta kind of guy. I love things in beta. I adopted Google Plus just as soon as I could get in. Same thing with the new Elo and several other things. But with this one, man, it's really clean and it's not overrun at all. And that's what I wanted to get at the moment. It's not overrun. If it's there, it's pretty easy to find and not cluttered. So that's been really nice for me. The codecs seem to be really good too. I'm loving the video codec. We ported a couple over from YouTube to my channel at Videscape, and as I was telling you before we started, I think that those videos, even though they came from YouTube and then went to Videscape, I think they look better on Videscape. What's up with that?
When we started this project, we had a hidden cost that came up which none of us were aware of, and it was basically the transcoding costs. And Amazon was charged, because we use the Amazon framework. We use the EC3 framework, which deal with millions and millions of people at the same time without any issues. We had this cost come up, and Amazon was charging us an absolute fortune to transcode the videos, and it would have basically bankrupted the project. So what I had to do is make a very quick phone call, and we had to build our own transcoder from scratch. Basically, which is how the videos work now. So we own the proprietary technology behind the transcoding technology, which compresses your videos.
Good grief. Well, you guys are building this whole service in 2 months, including a video transcoder. All I can say is you got a group of programmers over there that makes most people I know look tetchy.
Yes, they are very, very good at what they do.
That's pretty awesome. And talking about the codecs, the audio is good. It's quite good. And no, honey, I cannot accept your video call right now. Video calls, like we're doing right now. We talked a little bit beforehand, and I know you said way, way, way down the line. Can I at least coax you into teasing us into thinking that something like live streaming or even multiple person live streaming might be somewhere down the line in a year or two?
We've already discussed it, and it will be something that will be coming in, yes. But I can't tell you when, because I don't actually know myself yet. We've got quite a few mountains to cross before we get to the point of live streaming.
That's with all the good stuff that's going on right now, and particularly I'm sure you've looked at Concert Window, and their nice clean interface, a lot like yours actually, very, very clean. I like it. They've made huge inroads lately. Hangouts on Air, great for such things. We've been doing a lot of stuff with Zoom.us. I know you're familiar with Zoom.
Yeah.
I think that if you were to add that, I mean, you're already pretty much what I can tell over the top with the payout system and everything being clean and easy. If you add that, man, wow.
Yeah, you've seen that we're also putting in. You'll be able to sell your MP3s and merchandise on the site as well.
Building a store.
Right underneath your video, yeah. Any video you want, you can upload the video. You can upload the track and sell it there and then. And we've got deals in place with some of the largest card or merchant systems, which means that we can actually pay you out more than what iTunes will pay you out for the same value of sale.
Joshua Smotherman, are you watching? Are you listening? MPC Records, Hangout Records, are you listening? This is that was news to me. That's all right, fine. Let me just let you talk, and JT and I can sit here and go, oh wow.
No, we have a lot coming in. I mean, it's the whole idea behind this was basically to create, because there's no you aren't really truly independent these days. You've got to sell your products through mainstream distributors like iTunes or Spotify. You've got to put your videos on sites like YouTube. You've got to put your music on sites like SoundCloud. And they're all owned in part or in whole, or at least financially constrained by the three majors. And you have absolutely no chance. And this is something we've been saying to a lot of people, is that why are you putting your videos on YouTube? And the answer I generally get back is, well, it's got a chart that it has 1 billion users a month. And I'm like, okay, then put your video up on YouTube, don't tell anyone about it, and tell me how many of those billion users have come and seen your video. And the fact is, the answer will usually be 0. It may be, if you're lucky, 5, but generally it's 0. And it's an easy way to prove that actually that traffic coming to that YouTube platform is doing you no favors at all. So why one continue you're doing is basically helping pushing money to the majors or the big corporates. And bear in mind, Google really doesn't care about anyone outside of the majors anyway, otherwise they would be doing everything they could to make sure that all these music piracy sites were coming down, that people were being paid a decent amount. And they certainly wouldn't have brought out a contract like they did for YouTube Music Key. Wouldn't even got close to something like that. I mean, that's a horrendous contract, and I've actually seen the thing. So why not, with the opportunity of Videscape being that, okay, it's owned by me and the label, but nonetheless we're all independent. We're there, and it's the whole ethos of my record label as well. We are looking out there to help people actually make money in the music industry, which at the moment it's not being done. You have this vast section of society which like independent music. They pay all their money to these massive major sites, and all that, a large portion of that money then goes to the majors. That's how it works. And with Videscape going out there, we're not putting preferential payments out there. If EMI came to us tomorrow and said you can put our portfolio onto your Videscape, but you've got to pay us double what you're paying everyone else, we just say no, go away. I would say we're not going to stop them from coming on the platform. If they want to come on the platform, by all means, but they're not going to be paid any more than anyone else out there. And it's the same for any other artist or major gaming channel or anything else. We will be paying the highest streaming rates in the industry, which will make streaming a viable option for your career. Because the fact is, streaming is the way it's going to go. There's no two ways about that. Digital downloads are rapidly dropping.
We could fight it all we want to, but it's still...
It's there to stay, and it's going to go. So instead of companies like YouTube and Spotify, again, Spotify has sliding scales, so your pay goes out, the amount you're paid is directly proportional to how many people listen to your track. So if you have 10 million listens, you'll get paid significantly more on a per listen basis than the person gets 20 or 30 listens. But that's not the way it should be. One person's music is not technically valuable than anyone else's, certainly not to their fans anyway. You will then have, where the hell was I going? I've lost my train of thought. What's the other one? YouTube, again, for example, as I've already mentioned, they only pay you the advertising on your channel if you get any clicks at all. So they basically collect all the money on the CPM rate, because there is a CPM rate. They collect all of that money. If you get a click, then you get your 20 pence or whatever per 10,000 views. Again, it's a very... I hate to say it, but it's a very socialist platform where everyone works together and everyone gets paid the same. If you get 1 view, you will get paid the same as someone who gets 1 million views. Obviously, the person who gets paid 1 million views will get paid a lot more because they've got 1 million views, but as on a per view basis, they will be paid the same.
That's freaking awesome. I've also come over here and looked at a couple things. Let's see, comparing YouTube. The latest video I uploaded, which I uploaded the same one to YouTube and to Videscape within 12 hours of each other. Been up for 5 days. I have pushed the YouTube video. It's been tweeted a few times a day. It's gone out across all my social networks. I've had other people are sharing it. I know they like it, so they're sharing it. And it's had 79 views. On Videscape, in which I tweeted it one time, the same videos had 69 views. I'm pretty darn happy about that.
Well, do bear in mind that your video is much, much less likely to get lost in Videscape than it is in YouTube.
much
amount of
less likely
usage.
to get lost. And that's one thing I was pointing at is that million user base, a billion user base. You're lost. You're not even a minnow in a
No.
sea. More like plankton.
Yep. Well, not even that. I'd have said single cell organisms. Um, but yes, you're much less likely, because I mean YouTube's got what, 10 years of videos backed up onto it. So if you think we've got a new platform with no video, it's got 20,000 videos, but when it started, no videos on it, which means that everyone who uploads a video, you don't have to try and compete with a video that's got 100 million views to get anywhere near the top of the leaderboard. I mean, right now, if you uploaded your videos, and you give me a second, if you got 4,739 views, you would be number one on the most viewed. And then the lowest is 1,657. Okay, that's not, I mean, we're 9 weeks old, so there's not huge amounts of views there at the moment. But you can get your video on the front page of our platform at no cost to yourself just by uploading it and promoting it. Good luck with that one on YouTube.
It's taken 3 years of constant SEO just to be able to find my videos on YouTube.
Yeah, that's it. It's just whereas if you upload your videos on our platform, so again, another lot of people go, well, if I don't upload it on YouTube, will Google find it? Well, currently we have 2,000 impressions on Google a day in the top 10 pages for a 9-week-old site again. And those as the content on the platform increases and the activity increases, they will move up and up and up and up. I mean, if you put the same video on YouTube and you put the same video on Videscape and then search for it in Google, YouTube will come up first, but Videscape will come up one slot underneath it.
Not necessarily. 3 or 4 days ago, in the private group, you posted that for non-paid impressions in Google search.
Yeah.
And for those that are watching, a non-paid impression is when something shows up in your search results and it's not an ad, it has not been paid for, it's just in the search results. You had a 6% click-through rate. That's in itself is pretty amazing. But at that same time, and I think we talked about it in chat that day for a moment, I had searched for something, and one of my videos on Videscape came up in the top slot of the search result, even though it was slightly unrelated to my search. I was searching for an event page on Google. Of course, now the event page had not been posted publicly. Technically, it should not have shown up at all, but its title and video that was related to it from the episode previously on Videscape showed up at the top of the search. And that was with personal results turned off.
I can't complain on that, I must admit.
No, can't explain it, can't complain about it.
Can't complain about it. JT's just asked a question, which I've only just noticed. Are we going to be able to do album sales also? Yes, you're going to be able to upload anything. You can upload, but he's asked me saying, just wondering, with the music downloads, are we going to be able to do album sales also? Yes, you will. We've got to. It's something we're doing about 3 months down the line, because it is in our to-do list, but it's not our top priority at the moment. But basically, you'll either be able to upload a single track or a full album or a full EP on per video. So if you have the whole album and on videos, for example, you've got 12 videos, you could put each track under each one. Or if you've only done one video, you could put your whole album up under that video. But currently, as far as I'm aware, you'll probably only be able to buy the whole album. You will not be able to buy it individually, track by track by track, which isn't necessarily a bad thing. But it's, you could argue, yes, okay, well maybe people won't buy it because they've got to buy the whole album, but people had to buy whole albums when CDs and vinyl existed.
It's normally the fourth track on side B that's my favorite anyway.
Yeah. So yes, but I mean, I can't give you any major details on it, because the timeline at the moment is we're bringing in this week. We're basically pulling in all the figures from all the sites that our site sits on, and our analytics and everything, and we're going to go over the site to look at how effective everything is, and then to work out what changes we need to do. At the end of next week, we're starting the payment system, which we expect to take about 4 weeks, and that'll be where you have, in the back of your admin area, there'll be a little box which will say how much you're owed, and then there'll be a withdraw button, and basically you fill in your PayPal address, and then we'll PayPal you the money. The minimum fee, the minimum amount on that will be $25 though, because otherwise we end up with microtransactions, and it's an absolute nightmare if you go down that route. So you don't want to go down the route. It's a $25 minimum fee, but it shouldn't take you too long to rack that up, to be honest with you. After that, we're then bringing in the MP3 podcast audio upload system. So basically, you'll be able to upload your tracks or your podcasts or whatever the hell you want to upload, and then the cover will be an album cover or a piece of artwork or whatever you want. It'll be a static piece of, it'll be a static cover basically. We did experiment with the idea of using digital graphics, but we didn't think it was suitable at this particular time and period. So it'll be a fixed image for it, so you can listen to it. But again, when most people are listening to music on video platforms, or any other platform, in fact, I mean, they're not watching it. It's generally in the part of a playlist and then in a background. After that, we're then bringing in, I believe, playlisting. Playlisting, so you can basically create private and public playlists as you can on YouTube. After that will be the intelligent algorithm, so basically to working out what videos you should be watching next. A user notification system's coming in, so that every time you upload a video or someone comments on a video or someone follows you, you get an email saying that this has happened. Batch upload capabilities will be coming in the new year. We're going to create audio from video upload, so basically you can also you upload your video and it automatically splits it into a video and an audio thing, so you don't have to upload 2 separate files, and we can stream each file independent of each other. So if someone closes down the screen but wants to listen to it, the audio is streamed, and if they're watching it, the video is streamed. The product commerce system, so you can sell your music merchandise products right underneath the relevant videos, and that's for anything. I mean, if you do GoPro videos, you could sell GoPros underneath, or GoPro could sell GoPros underneath, and you would get paid for every transaction. We're bringing in a new payment gateway, because currently we use PayPal because it's simple and easy to start with, but we've got a deal in place with Streamline, which is one of the biggest systems out there. In year 2, we'll be bringing in a content ID system, which will be more efficient than YouTube's. I mean, it is important we don't support piracy, but the content ID system is almost an entire development project in itself. That is not an easy thing to do by any stretch of the imagination. So that will be a year 2 project, but it will be coming for those who are concerned about piracy. Something else. Oh yeah, and then we're bringing in featured video systems, so you can either pay for your video to be on the front page, or you can pay for it to be advertised like YouTube does. So if you want more views, then you will be able to pay for it, and then it will go up onto the front page, or will go into the next recommended videos, and so on easily. And then again, every single one of these revenue streams, the running costs are taken out, then the profit is split in 2 and then shared across the entire platform.
I mean, there's so much good stuff. Thank you also for laying out the timeline on that. 'Cause, I don't know if we've mentioned yet. We should. This thing's still in beta, folks. JT was signing up earlier. He had a couple issues. It's beta. Refresh your cache, clear your cookies, that kind of stuff seems to help me a lot if I have any things. But it's neat to see this coming along and step by step. Yep.
If you do have any,
that'll help me to keep from annoying you on Facebook and the chat so much with "Hey, when?"
If you do have any issues, if you look on the right-hand side of the screen, there's a little question mark. If you click on that question mark and then fill in the form, it tells us what the issue is, and then we can look at it, basically.
And the whole team over there have been excellent. I've hit the question mark a few times. They've all been just great about responding, getting answers out, etc. I'm seeing that the show, we've got a few viewers, and I know that Chris Robinson and Mike Tolliver were both planning to watch. If they're out there, both are very intelligent cats. If you got anything you want to add in here, the link to join us in the room is on the event page at Google, and you guys have that. A bunch of others of you too, so come right ahead if you got anything you want to find out. Neat stuff. I'm not even neat enough. I'm not even sure which way to go from here. Uh, what haven't we covered?
Most of it, I think. I can't think of anything else myself offhand.
Let's see. So, yeah, all right. So we had this here. I very seldom build up a sheet of things, ideas, or topics to talk about. Well, we built up a little sheet, and we've covered the idea and the who, what, where, when, why, and how, and the stage of development. Um, Tell us a little bit about. I've got a little star there beside my name on my account, and some have a check mark. Tell us a little bit about those.
Well, we wanted verified accounts in place because I think they're quite important on social media, and basically they're for paid accounts. So if you pay the $2.99 or $3.99 a month, then you get a star and a tick.
What does a paid account?
Means
What
that
does
you
it do
can
for
means that you
users?
can means you can upload videos longer than 16 minutes, basically.
Longer than 16 minutes. Okay, yeah. So YouTube puts us through a rigmarole of a 15 minute maximum, and if we want to go beyond that, we would create so many videos and click so many buttons and sign up for so many extras, etc. It doesn't cost us anything, but it's a heck of a rigmarole. I think I'd rather shell out a couple bucks and and be done. And the check mark is for verified website and creator to indicate that, yeah, we've checked this person out and he really does have affiliation with that.
Yeah, basically.
All right, good stuff there too. Um, Tom, this is neat. I'm looking for questions. I think we're covering things in such a way that the viewers that are out there are probably coming away with not too many questions left. Let's do let's talk a minute. I'm getting either an echo or maybe you're trying to speak at the same time while I'm not looking. I was getting odd audio there. Let's talk for a minute about sign up and that kind of thing. It's pretty simple. At videscape.com, VID escape, uh, hit the sign up button and move along from there. Have you had issues with sign ups and
Yes.
creation not going the way it's supposed to, being in beta, and how should folks handle that if they have a problem?
If they have a problem, then the best thing to do is either email us directly at accounts@videscape.com, the email address, or info@reddragonrecords.com. The emails are in the frequently asked questions, or click on the question mark and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. We have had issues where people haven't received the confirmation email to do their sign-in. Let us know if that happens and we can verify your account so that you can get straight in. The moment the login servers seem to be a little bit slow, we're trying to find out why at the moment. So it might take you 30 or 40 seconds to get in, but it's just they will let you in. It's just being slow. How annoying slow stuff is, but we are working on that and we'll get that rectified as soon as we can. But other than that, I mean, they're the two major issues we've had so far.
Well, good things come to those who wait, and all good things are worth waiting for. So I'll wait and let it spin until it's done.
Yeah.
And when I was looking for the
2 seconds. JT, you know when you're signing in, a lot of people make the mistake of putting in their username instead of their email address.
Yes, use your email address. I figured that one out.
No, but when you come back to sign in, people automatically put their username in, or Google autofill will put your username in, and it actually wants your email address, not your username. So it's your username and password rather than email and password. If that doesn't let you in, then let me know your username and I will sign you in right now.
How about that? On the spot. That's the way everything that I've done with you guys has been. As soon as it's mentioned, and I know they've got to be getting hundreds of emails, but it seems almost as soon as I email, an answer comes back. It's a small team. I don't know what you're feeding those guys.
A
They're
sponsorship
on
from
top
Red,
of things.
a sponsorship from Red Bull. Is
Sponsored
that,
by
yeah?
Red
Have you
Bull.
tried that? Have you tried that, JT? Does that work?
Go ahead and unmute JT and pitch in here for a moment.
Yeah, email let me right in.
There you go.
A
Yeah,
little trick there. You might want to, maybe put up something to let people know to use email. Is that just on the initial login after you verified, or is that all the time?
no, it's all the time.
Okay.
Yeah.
You might want to put instead of username, put like email address and password.
Yes. Yeah. I mean, it's on our list of things to do, but as you can imagine, that list is not a short one.
Did that though. Dang, I was right in. So now I can start playing with that. But I've got to say, and just listening to what you've talked about with the plans and the platform and the way that you've got it set up. I've been over. I checked out Brett's page and everything else without even actually having gotten it and done anything with my account yet. I'm a Videscape fanatic. I'll tell you that right now, because the support network that you have set up, and not just for independent artists. I've got a friend of mine who does independent editing and stuff like that. I'm going to tell him about it. So get on there, because the support that you're giving us is nowhere near anything that I've seen and or experienced to this point. So, I'm definitely going to be one promoting you as the Videscape site and everything else.
Excellent. We like to think of ourselves as because nothing we do is similar to what the music industry has done in the past. We're a very leading edge and very different companies to what are out there at the moment. And fair play to the content creators. I mean, not just talking for musicians, but content creators in general is very much the default. And it's got to be done. Otherwise, I mean, YouTube's too big at the moment. It's massive. It's proved that by this whole YouTube music key thing. There's nothing out there that really works for independents on the streaming side. I mean, Bandcamp's great, but they don't do streaming, as far as I'm aware. They don't pay you for streaming, and that's the way forward. Because it's anyone can go and listen to it. They don't have to pay to listen to it, but you still get paid. That's great. That's the way the music industry will be going, I'm afraid. It's all going to be ad supported or supported through companies that are putting together plans to make sure that the content creators get paid fairly for their work.
Okay. And I know I want to say thank you for that, because nobody else cares. I mean, in the music industry, for me in the music industry, that's exactly what it seems like. All they want is our stuff, and they're going to keep as much money as they can of what we have or what we make, and to heck with you otherwise. We just want your music. We don't care about what happens to you. But Videscape is totally different, which is refreshing to see and hear.
I've always preferred to think that these horrendous deals that musicians have signed with labels over the past decades have not been born out of greed. And so many people do just insist, the entire industry, particularly the big players and the labels and those who hold the contracts, do everything simply out of greed. I prefer to think that that's not the case, but lately they sure have made an argument by themselves that they're playing out of greed, and it's nice. It's real nice to see people that are playing out of fairness.
It's got to be done, Brett. Otherwise, we're just going to go round and round in the same old circles, and it's all going to deteriorate very, very rapidly. And then that's it. Goodbye, independent music industry, because it's damn near it at the moment. And I mean, the majors are going to crumble anyway. Their business model, and if this takes off, it'll give pretty much. I mean, in theory, you could take down iTunes, Google Play, Spotify, the lot in one go, basically, because of the amount we'll be paying out.
I don't want to see them all go. I'm a big fan of competition, but I like the way their pitches, and I'm right out of the ballpark.
Oh, got to do it that way. Got to do it.
To me, that's competition. I'm not a NASCAR fan, because to me, racing is all about who can build the fastest car and drive it the best, and telling me that we all have to have a restrictor plate, and the car can only go so fast, and it can only weigh so much. Well, that's not racing.
No.
Give me a dirt track and a bunch of rednecks who have gone out and built the biggest 455 big blocks they can, and now that's racing,
I totally agree. Totally agree with you there, Brett.
So I'm a big fan. I do want. Okay, yeah, I got that. While I was looking to invite you in for today's show, I saw Red Dragon, and I didn't know it existed. I don't think until just now. So let's take a minute. Tell me a little bit about Red Dragon Records and what kind of music you guys are looking for over there. That kind of stuff.
We deal with any music, well, pretty much all music apart from R&B and hip hop and rap. Basically, we're a traditional label where we take on an artist. We generally take them on when they're relatively unknown, so we take very high risks, and we pay up to about £20,000 to get them recorded, get them merchandise, and basically create a profitable business out of them. Because we need to, basically, the way for artists to succeed in the music world these days is to create a business and run it profitably. So we basically teach them we fund them to get to that point so that they have merchandise, they have a back catalogue, they have sales, they have press, and then teach them how to do profit and loss accounts and all the boring stuff that they're associated with. And then when they leave us at the end of 2 or 3 years, they then are a profitable entity, and then they can carry on growing on that, basically. And that's the way we tend to work. But at no point does artists ever owe us any money. I mean, we can spend the whole lot on them and they don't make us a penny, but they still don't owe it to us unless they breach our contract. But assuming they don't breach the contract, it's our risk. We're there as we look at an artist and we go, well, can we turn you into a profitable business or not? And it's our risk and our investment, basically. But Red Dragon is very much, it grows through acquisition. So we radio stations, we start projects like Videscape, for example. We're a pretty rapidly growing label.
That's pretty neat. Putting the work into research and development, R&D. Wow, I mean, from an independent label, it's hard to come up with that, to be able to do it. And most of them are saying they don't want to bother anyway.
No, well, that's why most of them fail, to be honest with you. I mean, there's hundreds of thousands of independent labels out there. The vast majority of them are ones that don't do anything whatsoever. I suppose you have a few at the very top end, obviously, which are very big. But we're very different in that we're not just concentrating on the music. We're concentrating on the infrastructure and the routes to market and delivery. And when we've got our own CD manufacturing factory, for example, we've got obviously Videscape. We've got 5 radio stations. We've got I'm sure we've got some other things somewhere as well. Yeah, so it's all about creating a very sustainable, very successful route to market, and doing it at a minimum cost as well. So basically we can take a band and we can put them out there without having to spend huge amounts of money, which means they have much more chance of seeing money back.
I like it.
It's a different route to market. It's a different market business plan to what most of the labels out there do. That's for sure.
For sure. I mean, particularly the smaller labels. It's so hard to get anything done. You can be a record label. It doesn't take anything to call yourself a record label.
No.
But to do somebody some good takes a lot of work. So that's really cool to hear, and I'm going to be getting in touch with you on that subject as well. Ian, one of your partners says howdy, and that he's going to be checking things out. I sent him an invitation to join us, but because he's not at his computer right now. So howdy to Ian, and thank you, sir, for your help. You've been outstanding. Very good stuff there, and I'm going to check back over here on our event page if I can find it again. I've got other tabs. Diana, Suede Management, who've been sponsoring some Tenn Listens shows. Thank you, Suede Management. She's going to catch the replay. She couldn't get home in time to join us.
2 seconds, Brett. JT, we can import all your videos from YouTube with the click of the button. Just set up an account, email us your account name and your YouTube account, and we will import them all over for you. Well, we can get about 70% of them. We can't get them all, but we can just import them at a click of a button. Sorry, carry on. Yes. Yeah, it usually takes 10 minutes, 20 minutes.
Yeah, I was blown away when you sent me the message. It said, "Okay, we're on it this morning," and I figured, give it a day or two, but I wound up over there within an hour, and it was done.
We have huge bandwidth available to us, so we can literally suck it straight out. It's all there, because we knew that a lot of people would be concerned about, they've been on YouTube for 3 or 4 years, they want to move to our platform, but they don't want to lose or don't have the videos to do it anymore. So one of the top priorities was to create a YouTube importer. If you just tells, and then he can tell me, and I'll just get it done. That's probably the easiest way, JT. Or I'll give you my email address anyway, actually.
You could just drop it right here in the chat.
You could, but I've got to go out after this, and I might lose it. Yeah, we realized
bandwidth is important. Good friend of mine, TC Dean over in Japan, great audio engineer, and I were talking last night, and he wanted me to. I've got a video file that I've just downloaded from one we recorded, and I'm to send it over to him. It's going to take 13 hours for me to upload it and get it to Japan because of my bandwidth. Well, he showed me his bandwidth and uploaded a gig of information in a few seconds at 125 megs up.
That's pretty insane speeds. I mean, we have
insane. Wow.
our server bandwidth, I believe, is at about 8 petabytes. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Can you build that over here in Middletown? You could build that. I can make you a rich man.
It would cost an absolute fortune to do that.
Yes, it would.
But yeah, no.
Yeah, how many politicians you have today?
Yes. But yeah, I mean, as you say, if you just sign up, we can import all the videos straight over, and it's done at no charge. What was Suede Management, Diane, saying? Sorry, I interrupted.
That she's really digging everything she's seen. She's enjoying it a lot. She wanted to make the interview today, but couldn't get home in time. So, Diana, thank you. Very cool. Let's see if she dropped a couple. There's a few likes there, but no new comments. I know that she's going to have some questions, and she'll either send those over to me or to you later on for sure. From Michael Tolliver, he thinks it's excellent, and he's all for it. I thought we were covering things in such a way that that my folks out here would be interested. Probably wouldn't need to ask questions. That chances are you're seeing sign-ups today.
I'll have to look later.
It's well, we know of one who's sitting here in the room with us, and my guess is that Michael and Chris are over there signing in. And you guys let us hit the button, hit the question mark if you got any problems. You don't get an answer fast enough, and you know my email address. I'll see if I can get word to somebody for you. I think you'll get your answers fast enough to suit you, though. Man, this is good stuff. I don't even know what else to ask now other than. Well, that's all I know at the moment. I'll think of some more stuff later.
Well, if it's any consolation, I can't think of anything else to say at the moment. I think I've covered most of it.
It's after 8 your time. I know. I think I saw a little bit of I'm sleepy creeping in there. So maybe we should let you get back to your. I know you're going to have a busy evening finishing things up. I'm looking at our topics here, and I was going to, in my topics, I had the current public reception as something to talk about. Well, we've seen that just in the last few minutes of people saying, wow, I'm all about it. So I think that answers that one.
It's the first time someone's ever actually said, I'm going to take on YouTube.
And, I'm all about it. I get along
all
pretty
fair-
well with YouTube. You know, I have to deal with them every week when they flag my content for copyright stuff, and I send them my contracts and say, no, really, I've got the rights, and they go away. But I get along pretty well with them. Really enjoyed what they've done with Google and the Hangouts, and I mean, here we are on a Google Hangout, and we're talking about taking on YouTube, using their own platform.
There is some
They
irony.
tolerate it.
There is some irony to that. JT, we're publishing your videos now. If you go on the front page of Videscape, you'll see we just brought in 7. Let's try again.
He's over there going, wow, how in the world did you do that? That's how it works, folks.
Yeah, I mean, we can't get them all, unfortunately. There's something that stops us getting the odd one, and we get about 60 or 70%, unfortunately. But I mean, it takes the vast majority of the work out for you, basically. And if you had to put one, yeah, 5 videos we can't get. We've got 7 for you, JT. They should be there on the front page. Yep, they are. Oh, look, isn't that magic?
They are. That is amazing. And it took you, what, 2 minutes maybe?
Something like that. Well, I would have said 30 seconds, actually.
Can you imagine how long it would
2
have
minutes
taken
with
to
relay
download
time.
them and re-upload them, JT?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think I even have, I think I maybe have 2 or 3 of those videos actually left on my computer.
There you go.
So it's like, and that's what I was doing too. I'm
I
like,
threw away years ago. I never
yeah,
did.
exactly. It's like, I don't have the videos anymore. What am I going to do? And thank you. That's all I can
You're
say,
welcome.
Tom.
That's
It's awesome.
It's just a shame we can't get them all, but I mean, we'll work on that at some point. But I mean, it's as I said, 60 to 70% of a platform's content net. And I would make the most of it, because YouTube at some point is going to go, where's all our content going? Yeah, we actually have blank TV on the platform, so we've got 14,000 videos from them alone.
Yeah, shouts to Blank TV. Cool folks. I've gotten to talk with them a few times. Yeah, good stuff. Glad to see them going over there.
It's all good fun. But yeah, I mean, if anyone comes to you and goes, I need my videos moved across, then just give us a shout. And because we haven't made it so that it's the member of the public can do it, we're going to bring that in at some point. But at the moment, we have to control our bandwidth. And if we suddenly opened it up to everyone, we could end up with 10 terabytes of stuff coming over.
404, 405.
Way before we're ready. So at the moment, it's all being managed in-house. But yeah, I mean, just tell us we don't need your login details of anything. We just need your YouTube username and your Videscape username, and we'll have it done, as you can see, within, well, depending on how long the queue is, but generally it only takes us a couple of minutes, no matter how big the platform.
Speaking of Videscape usernames, send me a link to your channel, JT, so that I can subscribe or follow, or we're calling it follow over here, right?
Yes, it's follow.
Okay, all right, send me a thing so I can follow you, JT. Already got mine.
Oh, and people who can't get their proper names on YouTube and stuff might want to move to Videscape as well, just so they can get a real name, if that makes sense.
Speaking of, and that's a thought. I used one of my favorite aliases, and I almost wish I hadn't. Is it going to screw anything up if I change my channel name?
Nope.
Okay, very cool. See there, you can change your channel name, guys. That's pretty good. And cool, I got JT's there. So yeah, even though we're out of stuff, we keep coming up with cool new stuff to mention. And I'm gonna look at our stuff here one more time. I'm seeing new stuff pop up. Let's see. Hi, Mark Thornton. Thank you for checking in. And Middle Tennessee Music following you right now. I'll find you in just a couple minutes as myself. So thanks for checking in. And I've got people checking in on me now. Yes, we're live. Come say hi. Come say hi. Really? No, really. We're talking to people that might, be related to your ancestors from over in England.
Birmingham.
Birmingham, she says.
way from Birmingham.
Hastings.
It's still a long way from Hastings as well.
He's a long way from there.
Sorry to say.
I didn't expect her home already. That's cool. Maybe I'll get lunch.
Oh, that's nice.
That's a joke for those that were involved in the Train Your Woman post we were laughing about the other day. They know I'm joking.
Oh no, I'm getting involved in that conversation. I get in trouble. Okay then, Brett. Unless you've got any more questions or anything.
I think we're done. I'm gonna wrap it up. All around good stuff, Tom. Great news. Lots of cool stuff coming. Liked everything I heard. And if you need anybody to beat you about the head, neck, and shoulders to get the live streaming thing going on, particularly for multiple participants, well, you just get with my bunch of folks over here at Plus, and we'll beat you about the head, neck, and shoulders all you can stand on it.
I'll be more than happy to talk to you about that at a later date.
We're all willing to test it out as soon as you're ready for anybody to test. Well, any features, as a matter of fact. Hit us up. We'll test them out for you live.
I will do. I will. Every time we bring a new feature, Brett, you'll be the first person I get in touch with. I promise you.
Oh, that's awesome. You're gonna make Tiz mad. You got to share with Tiz too.
Well,
maybe at the same time. Tiz has been trying to get an interview. Make sure that he gets an interview.
Do need to do that actually.
That needs to happen. And what was the name of his station site again? Give him a shout out.
It's xrpradio.co.uk, which
right.
is a radio station my label backs very well, and it's certainly one of the best independent radio stations out there at the moment for live music of all different genres. Not live music, indie music of all different genres. So go and join them, and they pay the artists as well for listening. They're not listening, but being on there.
xrpradio.co.uk.
Yep.
Good stuff. We've been talking with Tom Oswald, the CEO of Videscape. One of the coolest new things that I've found in a long time, and if you know me, you know that I'm always looking for cool new stuff on the net, especially for musicians and content creators. Check it out, videscape.com. Tom Oswald, thank you very much. Thank you, JT Hollis, for joining us, and to all the folks that have contributed and put their input in via Google and Facebook. I'm Brett Campbell with Middle Tennessee Music. This has been Tenn Listens, the special report on Videscape. Thanks. Have a great day. See you soon.